This is a little disclaimer. We were waiting for Tory Lanez to go live on his Instagram. We waited, and he didn't. When it was getting approaching 11 o'clock, what were you saying that Tory Lanez may or may not do?
Oh, he's trolling. He's trolling.
So you might not even do it, right?
He's trolling. Yeah.
Okay, so in hindsight, we were right, and I'm glad we didn't stay up because that nigga trolled everybody. What we're doing is we've listened to this album multiple times. Well, I have. I'm sure Dre has as well. But we've listened to this album multiple times, and we're taking the top 10 lyrics, bars, phrases, whatever, that really kind of accentuate the point that I didn't do this shit. I am innocent. Dre, please.
All right. Yeah. So we're gonna go 5 for 5. So my first one is on the very first track.
Of course.
Money over fallouts. Amazing track. First off, just have to get that out the way. Killed it on that one. But the bar that I want to lay out that he said is when he goes, "People try to frame me for a shooting, but them boys ain't cleaning up." I like that bar right there because it's the first song on there, and right away he's laying out exactly how he feels about it. Making people trying to frame me for a shooting. Just straight up there lays it out. Doesn't say any details yet, but just that's how it starts. And he's like, "But them boys ain't cleaning up. I'm still here."
Yeah, I didn't get that part. The cleaning up part. What does that mean?
Well, when you try to destroy something, you try to destroy it like totally.
Right.
There's no room for it.
Right.
And he's like, "You boys ain't finishing me off. You're not done in me yet. You're not cleaning up."
I'm still
you know
here.
What I mean?
Okay.
If you have a murder scene, you have that guy that comes in to kind of clean it up.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, fair enough. All right, dope. I'm going to go with the exact same song, Money Over Fallouts. This line was, "Girl, you had the nerve to write that statement on that affidavit, knowing I ain't do it, but I'm coming at my truest." He literally says, I don't need an interpreter. He literally says, "I ain't do shit.
Right.
I didn't do it." You know what I mean? So when people were saying, "Come on, go on your Instagram live, whatever," he told you. He did not do it. He didn't do it. Drake, please continue.
All right. My second one is from the second track. So this was called A Woman. And this is when it started to get interesting, because then you started to see a different part of the story that wasn't really kind of out there, but wasn't really out there. And the bar that I want to hit on is when he said, "You started taking me too serious." That's when it all escalated.
Okay, why did you choose that? Because to me, that didn't stand out.
That stands out to me because before, everybody was wondering, when the story came out with his whole publicist that she got angry and she was jealous, nobody really knew what was going on. You know what I mean? He laid out in that part that, like, at first, obviously, he thought it was just, "I'm here just to chill."
Right.
But then he started seeing that she started taking things seriously. And as soon as she started taking things seriously, that's when the drama escalated. It was her taking it to another level where the drama started to escalate.
Right.
And at this part, he still hasn't laid out the actual night situation that everybody knows about yet, but he did say at that part, you know what I mean? He also said, "Friends ain't your friends if they're given ultimatums." So,
I get that. I get that.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you put those two together, you kind of see what he's saying right now. He's saying, okay, Meg took it to another level. I wasn't there yet. She took it to another level, but, and then that's when it all escalated. Anyway, your turn. I'm waiting.
Let me see here. Hold up. I don't know if I can match that one, but I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna have to bounce off that, and I'm gonna go with Queen and Slim. This one's a bit lengthy, but and to your point, pre-recording, like, we almost left this song completely off the table because it says so much. But
oh my god! Yeah.
But the bars here is so much. Okay, me and Kylie still off in the pool. We just chilling, kicking shit. Was cool. Both of us didn't know you was tripping. Even though I got a crush on Kylie, I would have left with you if I knew you was dipping. For the simple reason you invited me, but I can't act like shawty didn't excite me. I had took a wrong turn that night. Okay, whatever. That last part's nothing. But the reason why that stands out so much is because, and we even talked about it. We talked about the possibility of Meg wilding out on Tory Lanez. Like, let's not, again, like, I don't want to really spend a lot of time on it, but like, size difference, man. You know what I mean? Meg can crush Tory. So the point is, and this was a narrative that was going around too, is like she was wilding. And some other people were saying, and there's supposed to be a statement coming out soon, that Megan is going through some things. She lost some people in her life, and when she drinks, she turns into a different person. In the line, it says, "We just chilling, kicking shit cool. Both of us didn't know you was tripping." She was already losing her mind. She did something, according to this, allegedly. She may have did something in that vehicle that could have caused whatever to happen, because we don't know, to happen. That is very telling. That is basically saying, look, if I did do something or if something did happen, I'm not wrong in this alone. It's not just me. You have a part to play in this too. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, my next one now.
I don't know if you could beat that one though, personally.
That was good. No, that was good. You see, I don't know if you noticed, but like the whole time when you're talking, I'm kind of like checking my notes. I'm like, should I switch up?
Man, I've been looking at my notes. What are you talking about?
Should I switch up what I'm about to say? Because he knocked it out the park there. It's a good one. Okay, but this one, I like where he went with this one because, you know, Megan Thee Stallion is just a single person, and there was a bunch of other people involved in the negativity towards Tory Lanez is the easiest way to say it. Right. You know what I mean? I want to say straight up slander, but geez, it was definitely some people just came out of the woodworks, you know? So this is from track 4, and this is called Sorry But I Had To. And he goes, since I went independent, these niggas want my demise. I mixed that in with another line from track 6 where he goes, labels trying to turn my black folk against me. I like those two together right there. That shows that, like, you know, that's obvious. I don't even have to explain it to you. But, like, there's blog sites like the Shade Room who are, quote unquote, you know, for the people, you know, and they were heavy on the Tory Lanez cancel party and his demise, and instead of you know trying to figure out the true story of what happened, you know, they went straight for the let's get rid of this guy. And of course, you know,
a lot. They weren't the only ones, man. A lot of blog sites. Complex did it. Like a lot. I don't want to say super notable, but Shade Room is not alone in that, man. A lot of people were just trying to cancel him. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. He was trying to get canceled. So when he said that, I was just like, it made me think for a second. He's right. Ever since he went independent, and especially once that quarantine radio blew up and everything like that, bang! All this bad stuff happened to him. Like
we're gonna have to come back to that in the wind up for sure.
Okay.
Have to. Because there's a lot to say about that. I'm
saying is Mike needed a follow up. So
absolutely.
I'm up one. I don't know if I'm up one right now, but Mike needed a follow up. So you know.
I'm gonna go back to Money Over Fallouts, and a lot of blog sites picked this one up. A lot of radio, because people, as much as they were trying not to give this album any promo, they were still talking about it, which is promo, idiots. But anyways, Money Over Fallouts. How the fuck you get shot in your foot? Don't hit no bones or tendons.
Yeah.
That's a big line.
That's a super note.
Meg revealed a picture of her gunshot wound. You know, and some people even seen that and was like, bro, I've seen gunshot wounds before. I'm not saying I've seen it, but some people say I've seen gunshot wounds before. That shit don't look like a gunshot wound. Looks like possible fragments. Right? Now, naturally, of course, the hospital that she went to said, no, it was a gunshot wound. So we're going to have to go with that. Right? But again, that's a big line because he's say I didn't do this, or at least what she is saying is not what happened. All right, what you got, man?
Listen, I saw that picture of that wound too, and like I used to jump roofs, like from roof to roof when I was a little kid in Jamaica, where they have flat roofs. Let me just get that out of the way, so people understand I'm not jumping these triangle ones. But I had worse scars falling from that than I saw on her foot, and that was a bullet, and it just
allegedly.
Grazed. Well, yeah, allegedly.
Sure. You have to go with that, man. All the facts aren't out yet.
Okay, whatever, man.
All right.
I'm trying to put it out there. I guess to stay safe, we'll say allegedly.
Yes.
This is the one I should have brought up to go with what you brought up before from the Queen and Slim line. But this was when he kind of, what was put out by his publicist was kind of reiterated, but then he kind of added a little bit more. I kind of read into this one a little bit more. So it's just it's from the same track. It was from track 4, sorry, but I had to. And he goes, how that 1942 from Kylie still got you talking crazy. And then another line he goes, jump inside the pool where Kylie's face was looking heaven. Okay. So those two bars, because of what you said about the news that's been coming out about Meg Thee Stallion, about how she gets when she's drinking, I like how he kind of subliminally said that with explaining what kind of happened that night in the same bar.
Right.
Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
No, it is a big thing. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to draw understanding. He's like, yes, something did happen. But again, I did not act alone in this.
Right.
Something triggered me. She drinks. She turns into somebody else. You guys don't see that. All right, let's keep it moving. Look How God Works. Look How God Works. Big song. And actually, even just if you're a religious person at all, you have any belief in God or just a higher power, like just the title alone says a lot, but I'll get into the lyrics. Can't believe she played the witness, trying to make them statements. Grace of God, you know the truth, so I'm gonna beat them cases. I would never put my hands on a woman, dog. I would never let it blam on a woman, dog. The man is saying again, you guys know my character. Look at, I've been in this industry for X amount of time. You never heard nothing like this before. When the story came out, people were like, it didn't even sound right. It sounded like an SNL skit. Because you just don't see that coming from Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
That's like Drake being a Jack boy. You just don't see it. It's totally out of character, right? So I mean, I thought that was a big line. Again, telling, very, very telling. That's more or less saying like, ask around, ask him, ask her, ask if I'm that kind of person.
Right.
I guarantee they all come back with the same answer. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. What is this? This is the 5th one, right?
Yeah, I got number 5. One more to go.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna take Queen and Slim. I'm gonna go from there, and I'm gonna try not to do the whole song. But in this song, the reason why it almost got cut was because it pretty much breaks down the story. If you want to know the story, track 8, Queen and Slim is where you want to go, and most of it is at the end. I'm just gonna help everybody out, man. Just go to like 2 minutes and like 40 seconds,
right? And
listen from there, and you'll get he's breaking down the night. So I'm just gonna go through my short synopsis of the story of what he says. So he goes that he was at a club, you know what I mean? They were chilling. He came out. He left his bike there and ended up going back to the crib. Justin, who is Meg Thee Stallion's bodyguard, ended up driving her back, and they went back to the penthouse, right? So they're back at the penthouse, and he feels like it's about to go down, but then he gets a call, and this is the funny part. He goes and he gets a house call to Jordan Wood's house. Right. He gets a house call to Jordan Wood's house, and then the next line is that he woke up the next morning on the couch.
Right.
So he goes back to Meg's house the next day now, and he says a line right now. He's like, this time when he goes back to her house, he's like, this time I know what it is.
Right.
So whether or not they had a conversation about him or what happened that night, he didn't say. What happens then after that, he goes in the pool with Kylie and they're flirting, and then him and Megan go back to the car, and that's where it cuts out, and you just hear that little audio clip of that female's voice.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I'll let people listen to that.
Yeah, and you can kind of...
He cuts, and then there's a little clip of like a female, using his voice. So he's like, him and Kylie were doing their thing, but they didn't know that Megan was tripping.
Right.
And then these are the lines that you said from the Queen and Slimline that come in here where, the alcohol played a factor and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But what was funny was, now I understand why I brought this up, is because now I understand when he says the alcohol made me do it. Because remember when this story first came out, his apology to Megan was like, I apologize. The alcohol made me do it.
I was drunk.
Everybody thought he was talking about the alcohol was what made him shoot Meg.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying the alcohol is what made me flirt with Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
The alcohol is what made me act that way with Kylie.
We need a gunshot.
That's what he was talking about.
We need a gunshot, not from the one from the alleged Tory Lanez weapon, but that's big because everybody thought, oh, that is not an excuse. You can't get. That's a mic drop right there. That's a mic drop right there. Okay, all right.
Tory
now,
killed it.
Now hold up, and then just to sum it up, friends become strangers. The line is straightforward. We both know what happened that night and what I did, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that line is a great way to end it, because at the end of the day, these are two famous people, and they got a lot to lose. Their celebrity employs people. You work for Tory Lanez or Meg Thee Stallion, you might have a kid, a mortgage, or whatever. Their livelihood is reliant on what happens to this person's career, right? So there's a lot riding on the line. So we're never really going to get the truth. It's going to be, and even regardless of what happens in the legal system, so it's going to be a matter of public opinion, because there's tons of artists who do really ridiculous things and they still manage to sustain a living and popularity and so on and so forth. So this is going to be, like it or not, it's going to be decided in the court of public opinion. And with that, we're never going to know the truth. Only they will. Because do you see Megan being like, oh, this is eating me up inside. I gotta tell the truth. No, it's never gonna happen. If that ever happened, I can't even.
She can't do that.
She can't do that. She can't. Like, she would literally. She was lying. Yeah, but also she would literally ruin, not indefinite, but she would really hurt the forward steps taken as far as the Me Too movement and things of that nature. Like, she ruined a lot of women's credibility when they said, hey, he did this to me. Because look at how many people came to her defense without even hearing Tory Lanez' side of the story. They were like, fuck this nigga. So if Meg comes out now and was like, yeah, maybe I embellished the story just a little bit. No.
But listen, though, it's hard not to believe Tory's side of the story. When you're listening to, it's hard not to, I heard Meg's and I heard Tory's side of the story, and I heard Megan Thee Stallion's reasons for why she didn't just tell the cops straight up what happened that night, and her reason was, there was a bunch of black people there, and I didn't want somebody to get shot by the cops. You guys are huge celebrities. No cop is gonna shoot Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion.
Nope.
So I thought that was the lamest excuse for why she didn't tell the cops in the first place. And now you look at how her career has changed since this all happened. She's a song with Cardi B. Apparently she's going to be the singer on Saturday Night Live for the premiere.
Wow.
Right? And this is an episode where they're bringing back a bunch of people, like old cast members, and Chris Rock is hosting.
Right.
Meg Thee Stallion is the singer.
That's a huge look. That's crossover appeal. If she didn't already have it,
does that happen? Does that happen without this Tory Lanez?
No, absolutely not. Because like I said, this is coupled with as it should be. This is coupled with the women's rights, and you gotta believe the victim. This is coupled with that. So they're taking the publicity of this case and they're saying, we believe you. Going back to what you were saying before with all these people banning Tory Lanez, just shitting on him, not caring about his and before, I want to make something clear, at least from my side, and then you could jump on if you want to. I believe that you should believe the victim. When the victim comes out, not just Meg, any victim, when the victim comes out and said, this was done to me, I believe you should believe the victim. If
Right.
the victim says, this person did it to me, I believe you should believe the victim. But I also believe that you shouldn't cast judgment on that other person until all the evidence is laid in front of you, and then you can make your decision. Yes, we've podcasted about this before. Yes, we've had our jokes. We've made the jokes about Meg. We've made the jokes about Tory. But I'm an intelligent person. I'm not going to come out and say he did this or she's lying without all the facts in front of me. Even now, to what you were saying about, listening to Tory's album and saying, how could you not believe him? If you took everything that Meg brought to the table, photographic evidence, whatever, the character witnesses, people coming to her defense, and then you also took everything what Tory said in this album, and some character witnesses too. I mean,
Some people have stepped up, from what I've heard, on Tory's side, saying that they've heard this side of the story from other people. But I mean, I don't think those people are ever going to come out. I don't think anybody's ever going to come out and say exactly what happened. I don't know if this is still an open case, especially if it's still an open case.
It's still an open case.
Okay, then nobody's going to be talking about anything at all.
Right. And,
you know what I mean? So the album is a genius way for him to say his side of the story, because if they bring this to court, he can just be like, this is a piece of artwork.
Exactly. Which is
whatever. Out as a story.
Exactly. And the other thing too, I want to quickly speak to that. A lot of people were chastising him because he put an album out. Do you realize that so many YouTubers, so many blog sites, many radio stations, so many do you know how many outlets made money off of Tory Lanez just by not even talking about him, by slandering his name? They made so much money off of trying to get rid of this man. So Tory says, okay, cool. You guys want my side of the story? All good. You're going to have to pay for that. I don't see a problem with that.
He had a bar where he said that he lost $10 million because of all this. That's a lot of money.
Look, at the end of the day, if you truly are saying get Tory out of here, talking about media, right? Don't talk about him. It's that simple. Don't make it relevant. Don't make him relevant, because Spotify and Apple, they're pulling a Tekashi 6ix9ine on Tory Lanez. He ain't on no playlists. He ain't promoting. I have both of these streaming sites. I don't see nothing. But guess who's number one though?
On Apple Music, yeah, I heard about that. That's
Tory
hilarious.
Lanez.
That must be a kick in the face.
But this is what I'm saying. So you like these people, they're not
put
helping.
so much effort into this.
But are they putting effort in it? I mean, they are and they're not. It's a double-edged sword, because they get to look like the righteous ones by standing up for Meg the Stallion, but they're also lining their pockets at the same time, because like I said, this is what everybody's talking about. They're gonna want to tune in. They're gonna want to click. So Tory's, all right, you guys make your money off me, now I'm going to make mine. And it's my story. I get to tell it. Why do you guys get to shape the narrative? Let me shape the narrative.
I'm glad he did it, man. I'm glad he did it.
Yeah, and I want to say one other thing. And I'll let you go off, because I talk a lot. But I do want to say one other thing, Drew. I want to say this. I want to be clear about this, because we talked about this so much. I don't think, even with all the great lines that we pointed out, and we pointed out some good ones. We pointed out great ones.
Yeah, we did a great job.
if all of that was true, including Tory letting it off, not justifiable. You cannot, and I know I said it before jokingly, I'm a troll, but you cannot justify shooting another woman. You can't, an unarmed woman, you can't do it. It doesn't matter how drunk she was. It doesn't matter if she was, you cannot justify shooting another woman. You just can't do it. Because I would look like a hypocrite, wouldn't I? With all the Breonna Taylor stuff and the Jacob, you can't do that. The person is not armed. So it isn't really like, Tory makes great points and I'm feeling everything he's saying in the album. But if he let it blam on Meg, he lost. He's done for me. He's cooked. Again, with one of the lines that I mentioned earlier, he's saying, I would never let it blam on a woman. So he's literally saying, I did not do that. So,
right.
All right, go ahead, Drake. Please take us out of here, man. I talk too much.
Just for me, the one thing that I want to add on to it that I just actually thought about is where's Kylie in all of this? Because let's say that Tory did do this and Kylie was there. Apparently, what they're saying is she wasn't there. She wasn't near the car. She was at the pool or whatever. But like, she was at the house. Like, she was at the crib. There must have been a conversation before the cops showed up. Like, I'm assuming that the shot didn't just go off and then the cops were magically right there.
Right.
I'm assuming there was a time in between, and if she heard a gunshot, Kylie Jenner being at the house, I'm assuming she's going to try to figure out what happened. But besides that, because we'll leave that to the side, if she did figure out that he did actually shoot Meg Thee Stallion, why isn't she saying anything? That should be the first thing. But anyways, let me say this. When it comes to who to believe, what side or what story, absolutely. There's one side, there's another side, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth. So we'll probably never get the true story unless this goes to a trial and then it's public record or something like that. With that being said, though, ladies, women, respect yourselves. And I say that to say this. There are instances, the reason why situations like this come up and it's hard to believe one side or the other is because there are situations where women will use this as a tactic for revenge or a tactic to hold something against somebody, or I'm going to keep your kid away from you, or I'm going to do this to do that. When it's used in those means by somebody that you know if you're a woman or one of your friends or something like that, you got to shut that down.
Yeah. You
got to stop that, okay? Because that is the reason that Meg Thee Stallion has people now who have heard her story and they've heard Tory, and now it's a little cloudy.
Right.
That's the only reason that it could be possible, because people know that there are stories like this where these means are abused, and these are extreme methods. And women know that they can do it because there's no crime for falsely accusing somebody of doing this, right? So at the end of the day, just make sure you put yourself in the right position. Try your best. But if women just have respect for themselves and don't try to use the wrong tactics, it would be a lot easier and it would be a lot safer for everyone. That's all I think. That's how I feel about the whole situation.
Agreed. Just for clarification, it is a crime, defamation of character, but that highly ever happens.
When has
nobody ever wins. No, you're right. No, nobody ever wins. Nobody ever wins.
Come on. Come on.
No, you're right. Nobody ever wins. And at the end of the day, the lie, the stench stays with you. Even if you prove that person was wrong, there's always going to be people out there like, nah, he did that shit. I don't really care
people are naturally going to believe the female. It's just a natural thing, especially when it comes to some form of abuse or assault, whether it's verbal or physical. They're going to believe the female because the guy is going to be the bigger, stronger, whatever. It's just the way society views it. So that's why it's so dangerous to falsely accuse it. I'm not saying that that's what's happening in the Meg Thee Stallion situation. But if it is, And a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at now is kind of pointing that she kind of might have used this for a little clout as revenge because she saw him flirting with Kylie, and then he put out the true story. She felt embarrassed, and then she went about going a different way. Like that, if that's what happened, that's horrible. Is all I'm saying. So that's why I went on that little rant.
Okay, so no, totally, and it makes sense because, well, women do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So do men. But question before we bring it to an end: do you see Meg responding to this album? Not in music, but just a comment, a tweet, or anything. Do you see her responding to this album?
She put up an Instagram post.
She did. What did she say?
She just put up a simple Instagram post, and she's wearing finger rings.
Yeah.
And
fuck you.
Finger rings spell fuck you.
Yeah. Okay, so again,
yeah,
that really says nothing. That's not saying you're a liar. That's not, you know what I mean? That's just saying fuck you. Yo, you're kind of yo. Hold up, Dre. You're kind of okay, there you go.
Yeah, you're frozen too. You're frozen too. Yeah. Oh, it just came back, but you were frozen for a little bit. But that's good.
You were saying?
Yeah. Am I frozen? Am I back?
No, you're good. You're good on my side.
Okay, good. Yeah, no. What you said was right. What you said was perfect. That was a conclusion there.
Okay,
I got nothing else to add, man.
Well, look, man. I'm gonna put the link for the album in the description because I feel like he deserves to tell his side of the story. You guys might not like that he decided to monetize it, but again, we monetized it. Whether it was for this, or it was for the clout, or it was just to get some clicks. If you talked about him, if you posted about it, if you did anything about Tory Lanez since this incident happened up until now, especially if it was negatively, you tried to come up off him. I don't see why he shouldn't do the same. Two Guys Doing a Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We could be tripping. Maybe we're being a little biased because of the Canada. But I don't know. I'm gonna hold judgment until all the facts come out.
Yeah.
And we will definitely revisit this. And you're frozen again. It's the wonders of the internet, people. Pornhub is real. Peace.